We just received 5 major breakthroughs for Chapter 3, all of them in the same morning. We've got such a clear picture of what Chapter 3 is gonna be like, and it looks so good, but also hella scary. We've got CCTV footage, we've got bios, and jam-packed lore in these notes. So let's sink our teeth into this before the gameplay trailer comes out. At number 1, we've got CCTV footage camera 1. Now, I have to admit something before we get into this. I am absolutely fatigued with keeping up with the ARG. I'll leave that up to the Poppy Playtime news channels to deal with. What I like is the outcome of the ARG, and one of those outcomes is this. We got 3 new CCTV footage cameras, and this first one looks at that orphanage room where they had the bunk beds and all of that. You know, we looked into it before. But before even pressing play, you can see something majorly interesting up here. This one's about like 14 seconds long, so let's just watch it through and see what we can see. Oh man, you can just see Catnap slowly swaying up there. I think he's hanging off of the ceiling, and that kind of looks like the moon medallion just swinging. You can just see the light bouncing off of it. Oh man, it's super dark, so it's a little bit hard to see, but I can see something else over here. What is that? It's something else glistening. And just back here, you can also see a hole in the ground, so this is that angle we saw from the footage. I mean the photo. Oh, and I can also see some letters over here and some more letters over here. And to be honest with you, Catnap looks pretty damn big. Like he's not plushy size, you know what I mean? I can't seem to see anything else happening in here other than these little dust mites floating in the air. So let's jump into Photoshop and see if we can brighten anything up. Okay, so I tried to catch a snip where you can see the medallion just to make sure that's what it is. So let's brighten this bad boy up. Oh, they've just added so much VHS haze to this that it's like impossible to see any details. This is clearly Catnap. And this thing over here is clearly his medallion, the moon medallion. Can't tell what that says though. But this is that hole in the ground that I was talking about before. Looks like we got some beheaded toys over here. But this thing over here that's glistening in the background, I don't know what it is. So creepy. And why are the doors in this place so like prison-like? Bars on them and everything. I guess this place was a prison for the children or the orphans. So what this tells me is this guy is gonna be everywhere. He's gonna be on the ceilings, the walls, underground, and holes. Ugh. And we've got some text on the ceiling as well. Man, what are these codes? Why are there so many? What do they mean? Like it says FG or EG on the wall. And yeah, what's weird is that underneath Catnap, like right here, it looks like there's some letters as well. What are they trying to tell us? And I just noticed that that's like a creepy looking baby portrait over there. Anyway, let's go on to the next VHS tape. Okay, VHS number 2. This is definitely a place that we've seen before. Again, in Steam photos. But this video is a little bit longer. It's about 2 minutes, so let's see what it's got in store for us. So it seems like the VHS static is slowly dissipating. Man, this looks like a mental asylum. Look at the size of those padlocks on the doors. Not only that, the padded walls, and those big scratch marks on the ground. We know who did that. It kind of looks like there's some potential text up here. Just like corpses of other toys on the ground. So sad. Doesn't really look like anything else is happening in here. It's just giving us a better, clearer picture of this place. Can we just talk about the like astounding detail of these maps? I don't know, that stuff just gets me so hyped. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I was about to close the video. Who is that? Oh my god, look at the size. It's a smiling critter. That's Dog Day, maybe? Or is it Catnap? No, Catnap's ears would be pointy. Holy crap, they really can change in size. Alright, and then the static comes back. Oh, and then it restarted. Let's take this into Photoshop. Alright, so I managed to get a point in which we can see the critter right there in the middle. And we once did get a lore report or something like that, which told us the critters have the ability to change size. Maybe this is their base form when they're in their like toy form. They're tiny. And the way that it's walking around kind of feels like a warden on watch. They're just keeping an eye out for anyone walking through this area potentially. And then when they become hostile, maybe they become the size of the Catnap we saw in the previous CCTV footage. But they're kind of cute as well. They really look like Care Bears in this form. Brighten things up and see what we can see. Doesn't look like there's any hidden images in here. I did a little bit of a scan. And it's definitely not Dog Day because Dog Day's ears are a lot bigger and Catnap's ears are pointier. Oh, it's literally Bobby Bearhug. It matches him exactly. Yo, Bobby Bearhug's a mad cutie. Look at him just waddling around. That's so cute. Okay, so Bobby Bearhug is bad? I mean, you can't tell me the way he's walking around right now isn't like a warden on watch. And who would he be watching out for? At least they're kind of slow. That might help us in the game. Alright, let's go into the third CCTV footage. Now, this one's about 20 seconds long, and again, it does look like an area we've seen before. It's just a repeating series of pistons moving up and down. Clearly, we're getting into the guts of the factory, because you wouldn't need machinery like this unless you're pumping some massive stuff. And also, they wouldn't emphasize this sort of piston machinery unless it's probably something important. Maybe it has something to do with the manufacturing of the poppy gas. I mean, you can see a whole arrangement of pipework on the left and right. It might be pumping the liquid form of the poppy gel around the entire factory. But I also get the feeling that this is going to be like a jump puzzle or something like that. Like I can totally see us jumping onto this piston over here. And then when it gets to this point, we got to jump onto the back of this piston over here. And it might take us into a new area. Anyway, let's take it into Photoshop and see if there's anything hiding. So I've just gone ahead and brightened this bad boy up, and honestly they've added so much haze to this that it's impossible to see anything other than the pistons. But it could be kind of cool if we have to jump on these things, or you know, there might even just be a collectible on one of these things. It's like in chapter 2 when we had to find those gold trophies. I'm certain this has something to do with the manufacturing of the poppy gel or the poppy gas, because that's a significant detail about this chapter. Speaking of poppy gas, we have to jump onto the next detail. We got Catnap's bio today! We finally got it! We've been waiting all week and making shorts about it all week as well. It's so cool, we get to see his full body in cartoon form. Something that I found quite interesting is how goddamn long his tail is. You know how in the CCTV footage we just looked at, what if his tail is the thing that's holding him up in the ceiling? It might be his ability to maneuver around the place. And that moon medallion, oh, we saw it glistening. So creepy, I keep coming back to this. I mean, look at it, he's just watching where the children would be sleeping. And it's also creepy how he knows exactly where the CCTV camera is. He's looking right into our soul. He watches the children as they go to sleep, disperses the gas all over them, and then potentially watches the security guards through the camera being like, I know exactly where you are. You're not just watching me, I'm watching you and everyone else in this place. But as I was saying, end of the day, there's nothing Catnap enjoys more than watching his friends sleep soundly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. His friends is insinuating that the orphans are kind of like his friends as well. But the weirdest thing is his scent is lavender. And when you do a quick Google, lavender has a sedative effect as well. They can't make his scent poppy, obviously, because the poppy Playtime doll, her whole thing is having the hair scent of poppies. But on to detail number 5, the investigation. We got a bunch of these papers from someone called Gerard Lockhart, the investigator, and it tells us the story of the strange case of Theodore, which this person looks into, to whom this may concern. The rumor has it that whatever it was that influenced poor Theodore, be it human or beastly in nature, has been apprehended in the lower dredges of the facility. I'm sure this news is pleasing to you. Should it be true, I hope it is true. Don't worry, I'll only dig so far as directed. Regardless, I wish to add my 2 cents based on the details I've uncovered in my investigation, and hopefully, together, we can paint a clearer picture of the situation. So we know this thing that's been influencing Theodore based off of pictures and stuff like that it's 1006. And this was the point that they captured it. I'll only dig so far as directed. Clearly, this investigator has been given a limit to not dig too far because he might uncover the truth behind Poppy Playtime. On to number 2, the preamble. The reports and first-hand accounts state that Theodore Gramble is odd, antisocial tendencies with other children, juvenile behaviors, peculiar relationships with imaginary figure, 1006. Equipment missing, reported by Mark Smith, maintenance technician, 2 times grab pack hands, 2 times green hand attachments. Involved? Not. Saying that Mark Smith isn't actually involved. And then we've got a picture of one of the green grab pack hands, kind of destroyed and used as well. And in the background, one of those charging docks that we know about. And then the best part, the conclusion. Whatever your influencer is, it wanted a way out. What's strange, it got just that, but didn't take it. Instead, it chooses to carry the boy to staff to save him, to blow its cover. Had it not intervened, though the boy likely wouldn't have made it. Whatever/whoever this was, perhaps it cared in its way. Doesn't excuse what happened, obviously, but still, be grateful that it means Theodore is alive to tell. Something clearly went wrong in the getaway with Theodore in 1006. It resulted in Theodore getting burns and potentially nearly dying. And with the theory of 1006 being Elliot Ludwig, who we might know loved children, and that's the reason why he created this whole thing, his instinct kicked in, and his care for a child came first. So rather than escaping, he put the child first and got him the help he needed. That resulted in him getting caught as well. Dude, the twists and turns in this story are crazy. This resulted in Theodore absolutely admiring 1006. Hence, the theme of the chapter, the admiration, the worshipping of 1006. It's his imaginary best friend and his savior, and that's why we have all of these effigies. This is turning into a phenomenal story. They're putting it together so well. And if you enjoy creepy stories like this, check out my Creepy Stories podcast, Don't Listen Before Bed. I always tell you, you have to do it. It's on Spotify and everywhere you can listen to podcasts. And this next episode that I'm releasing is gonna be so creepy and good, but also funny at the same time. So have a listen, or else Catnap is gonna watch you in your sleep tonight. Goodbye.